Okay. Good morning and welcome. Can I ask everybody to take their seats, please? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Williams and I am the Chair of SNAICC. On behalf of my fellow SNAICC National Exec members, our CEO Frank Hetton and all of our staff, I welcome you here to our 5th National Conference titled For Our Children Living and Learning Together. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which this conference is being held. We also acknowledge their elders, past and present, and we also like to acknowledge all of the First Nations people represented here today from the lands and the waters of this continent and the lands beyond Australia. We acknowledge their elders and warriors, past and present. We acknowledge the diversity and strength of our rich cultures that are the birthright of every Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander child. And I'm looking forward immensely to the next 3 days. Looking around the hall, I can see that this is truly the biggest SNAICC conference. In 2013, SNAICC is celebrating its 30th year as a funded organisation. And what a wonderful way to celebrate this incredible milestone. In this room, there are over 1,100 delegates that come from across Australia and overseas, across all sectors relating to the well-being of children and families. We unite today and over the next 3 days in passion and commitment to acknowledging the rights of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children and family, both their rights as citizens and their distinct rights as First People. Yours is an important commitment, and your presence here at this conference is further evidence of your commitment and passion. Commitment and passion are also good words to summarise SNAICC's work over the past 30 years, as well as the people and the organisations that inspired our creation. SNAICC's mission has been to give Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children and families a voice. And forums like this conference, I hope, act as a megaphone for that voice. Before we go any further, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of 3 very special overseas guests who will be our keynote speakers. We welcome Marta Merez Perez, who has travelled here from Chile to be with us. Marta is the former Vice President of the UN Committee on the Rights of a Child and is in Australia for the next few weeks as a guest of SNAICC. We also welcome Professor Cindy Blackstock from Canada, who many of you will remember fondly from our last SNAICC conference in Alice Springs. Cindy is the Executive Director of the Caring Society and Associate Professor at the University of Alberta, and a powerful advocate for her people in Canada. And we also welcome Professor Cindy Cairo, the first Māori and only female to have been Children's Commissioner in New Zealand. Cindy is head of the Faculty of Education at Victoria University in Wellington. I would also like to acknowledge Megan Mitchell, Australia's first National Children's Commissioner, who will officially open our conference in a few moments. I would also like to especially acknowledge all of the elders in this room who have joined us to share their stories, knowledge, wisdom and experience. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, to everybody, welcome to this, the 5th SNAICC National Conference. We are here to discuss important issues and to deal with the well-being of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children, families, and the challenges that they are facing. It is our cultural way of thinking, being, and doing that needs to drive and shape our responses to these issues. How do we build the platform so that today's children become our leaders of tomorrow? Strong, proud Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander women and men. Some major questions immediately come to mind. How do we support vulnerable children and family better so that children are not separated from their families, community and culture? How do we tackle in more effective ways the underlying and intergenerational causes that are placing our families under stress? And how do we provide and promote and support the effective community solutions around the country that see children safe and well in their own communities? How do we empower Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander organisations to play a more meaningful role in child protection, well-being and service development? And how do we work towards a situation in which all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children are given the best possible early education and care, so they grow up to be healthy, confident and strong in culture? These are all fundamental questions to be considered over the next 3 days. But just as important, we are here to celebrate the resilience of our children and families and the resilience of workers in all of our community-controlled organisations and other organisations that provide services to our children and families. We are here to learn about the many success stories across Australia, to share stories and knowledge and innovative programs that are celebrating who we are and driving real change for our families and communities. We are here to create or re-establish important networks. However, we don't want to walk away just having had good conversations. We also want to look at how do we work better together to support our children and families? How do we take the agenda forward together? We hope for a clear strategy around some critical issues, some steps of what can come next. This is not a one-off event. This is just part of our journey together. I would like to also think now, while we are here, what do you want to take away with you? And what are you going to do to make sure that that happens in the future? This is about all of us maximising the opportunities we have to be here together and engage, learn, share, inspire and plan for the future. In amongst all of the serious work, we are also here to enjoy some wonderful local Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultural activities, meet members of the local community and enjoy some of the wonderful sights and sounds of Cairns. So please take the time to do that as well. The well-being of our delegates is very important over the next 3 days, and we have set up a well-being zone upstairs on the mezzanine level to create a quiet space for people if they need to take time out or to discuss some issues that have happened during the day. And finally, in terms of keeping in communication while everything is going on, to help people stay across all of what is happening and to continue the conversation online, you can use the following hashtag on Twitter, and that's hashtag SNAICC, SNAICC 1313. And I hope that over the next 3 days you will be challenged, informed and inspired. And I wish everybody an enjoyable and productive 3 days. Thank you. The next part of my role is to recognise and acknowledge our sponsors for this incredible conference. And we would like to thank our government supporters, the Department of Family, Housing, Community Services and Indigenous Affairs, the New South Wales Family and Community Services, South Australian Department of Education and Child Development, Queensland Department of Communities, Child Safety and Disability Services. Also our main sponsors, Berry Street, thank you very much, Oxfam Change Course and Benevolent Society. Thank you for your generosity in making this happen. My next task is to welcome to the stage Henrietta Famalmar, who's the traditional owner and will do Welcome to Country for us. Please make Henrietta welcome.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here today to give you some insight into my country, Gimawalabra, Yidinji country. I first want to say to my sisters from Yirrkala, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for allowing us to honour a great ambassador of this country who has passed. Saying that, I want to, first of all, pay my respects to our elders past and present. I want to also honour my mother, who had given birth to 6 of us in the family, who had passed just recently. And it is through her that I stand here strong today. I want to acknowledge the land that we stand on. This is the land of the Gimo Walabra Yidinji people. A land that was first settled by the settlers who came here and upset. And there was a lot of dispute in terms of our camping ground at Warri Racecourse, where our people were dispersed and taken off to Yarrabah and other communities, while a lot of our elders had stayed here. Bilan Gudan, Gima Walabra, I welcome you to Gima Walabra Yidinji country, the land we call Cairns today. This is the land of my father, Quiblam, Henrik 4 Mile. The land of my grandfather, Ngari, Quiblam Wawan, Ted 4 Mile. The land of my great-grandfather, Yini. Yini was a great warrior and leader of our tribe. When the settlers came, they translated the great warrior and leaders as king, which was why he was given the title King of Cairns. This is the land of my great-great-grandparent, Jiriju and Mandijupa. Bawa, Jaryu, the land of my grandfathers and my grandmothers. This land we call Gimoy, Gimoy Walabra, and the land of the Walabra Yidinji people that we call today. It is a real honour to be here today to welcome visitors from across the waters and across the states in this beautiful country of ours. I hope that, I am so pleased that you chose Cairns, Gimoy country, to have this great conference today that allows for the transmission of culture and information, and to be able to share with others what we need to do to ensure that our children continue to speak the language, continue to know their country, just as we are doing today with our people, the Yidinji people of this land. Before I go, I want to share with you the space that we are in today, Gimoy. To the south of us, the land when you come in, the mountain ranges, which is Whitfield Ranges, we call Bunda Jambunji, the great scorpion dreaming site. To the west, we have White Rock, Bunda Mundagunji, again, another great story site of the stingray and the barramundi. To the south, Bunda Jurrigan, the Jurrigan's nest, the scrubhen's nest. As we come to the inlet, Banawangal, Gidaja, who's a dreaming site and our totem site. So this is the land of the Gima Walabra Yidinji people and the land of my grandfathers. I want to now show you a short DVD that puts you in this place on where you are standing today and where you will be for the next few days.
Back in the dream time, after creation was completed by the rainbow serpent, I was chosen to take my son into the rainforest. We built a campfire. I began to pick up some rocks and crushed them to paint my son. I painted my son with all the tribal colorings and markings. I heard the great rainbow serpent told me, pick up your son and throw him in the air. I love my son, but I had to obey. I saw him change into a boomerang. He flew into the sky.
Before I end, I also want to acknowledge our neighbouring tribes from the region, the Jabgai people to the south and the lower Jabgai, also known as Yurikanji. Also the Kunganji people and the rest of the Yidinji nation from this area. I believe the Yoruba dancers who are made up of both Yidin and Kungai. Kungai is the land of my mother's people. So again, welcome to Gimo Walabara, Bilan Gudan, and I certainly hope that this week we will give you some sunshine, and this will be a successful meeting. Thank you.